Good morning, guys. Welcome to day 3 of Morning Devotional, Forgiving What You Can't Forget. And the topic today is the daily cure for a heavy heart. I'm praying that this message reaches those who need it most. I feel like I resonate with this topic today because I recently went through something where I had to just step back, and instead of acting on my emotions, I just forgave and decided that I didn't want to take any of that negative energy. I don't have to. I'm not required to take on anyone else's burdens, and I won't. So instead, I said a prayer, I forgave, and I continued on with my day. I want us all to be able to get to a place where we think first, pray, and act last, because everything doesn't deserve a response or an action behind it. Forgiveness and prayer is honestly enough, okay? So remember, the peace from forgiveness is more satisfying than revenge. And you can find this devotional in the description box if you want to follow along. So it's enough talking. I'm going to go ahead and jump straight into the devotional. Like I said before, the topic is the daily cure for a heavy heart. Did you know that Jesus has given us the perfect prayer to pray each day to help us get ahead of any offenses that may be coming our way? In Matthew 6, we read about Jesus teaching the disciples how to pray, more commonly known as the Lord's Prayer. And today I want us to note the very parts Jesus seemed to emphasize the most: confession and forgiveness. If you haven't already done so, take a few moments to read Matthew 6, 9 through 15. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Giving and receiving forgiveness makes up almost half of what Jesus teaches here. This grabs my attention and makes me lean in a little more to what Jesus wanted us to do on a daily basis, besides just making our prayers about requesting help and provision from God. The Lord's Prayer reminds us what the human heart needs every single day. We need God, we need to be forgiven, and we need to forgive, which means forgiveness is supposed to be as much a part of our daily lives as eating and sleeping. But I will readily admit, I'm not even sure I've ever done this weekly, much less daily. And maybe that's the very reason I often have an unexplainable heavy feeling inside of me. I'm too easily offended. I'm too quick to get defensive. I'm too slow to turn to prayer. I'm very rarely confessing, and I'm too often not forgiving. But I want to change this. I want to mature in this. I know I won't do this perfectly, but that doesn't mean I don't try it at all. Just a few weeks ago, someone I've been trying to help completely blindsided me with a reaction that felt extremely out of character and honestly undeserved. I was hurt. All I wanted to do was pull back from helping and give way to a full unleashing of my hurt on her. But instead of immediately reacting, I remembered how earlier that morning I had prayed the Lord's Prayer and confessed several things to the Lord in which my own heart needed some work. I'd pre-decided to forgive those who might do or say something that might hurt me or stir up my strong emotion that day. Instead of letting my anger stir me to cause more hurt and pain, I simply let my anger inform me that something needed to be settled between me and my friend. I asked her if she could come over to my house, and instead of us trying to figure it out or talk it out, maybe we could pray through it together. I let Jesus in me talk to Jesus in her. As we prayed, the most unexplainable peace washed over us both. It didn't necessarily solve the issue at hand, but it did prevent the chaos of adding in more hurt, confusion, and opportunities for resentment. Confession breaks the cycle of chaos inside of me. Forgiveness breaks the cycle of chaos between us. The Lord's Prayer prepared my heart for something I didn't even know was coming later that day. Friend, believe me when I say the best time to forgive is before we are ever offended. The next best time to forgive is right now. So in response, Were you surprised to see that confession and forgiveness should be a part of our daily lives? How often do these two practices show up in your own life? Knowing there is no condemnation if it has been a while, start today. Spend time purposefully sweeping your heart clean with confession and forgiveness. So that is the end of that devotional. If you want to read it for yourself, you can click the link in my description. It's in the Holy Bible app, and it's a 5-day reading plan. With one of the questions in the response, it said, how often do these two practices show up in your own life? And I was thinking about it like, I remember when I was younger driving, no, it don't really happen that much now. But when I was younger, definitely driving to work or driving to the store, even if I was going around the corner and someone would maybe cut me off or beep their horn, of course I was quick to be angry or quick to yell back at somebody, or child, I have my hand on my horn for 5 minutes or till they are out of sight. And nowadays, if that happens, you kind of just got to take it with a grain of salt and move forward. That can be your act of forgiveness for that day. Okay, like little things like that, you don't have to let it get to you. You can just let it roll off your back, say a prayer, and move forward. But yeah, that's all I have to say for today, guys. Make sure you have those post notifications turned on so you can tune in tomorrow for day 4 of the morning devotional. All right, bye y'all. See y'all tomorrow.